prayer. Mr. Dinocot, may you please lead our prayer? So once again, good morning class. So may I ask you, how are you feeling for today? So are you feeling well, sick, or maybe just fine? Okay, all of you are fine. Okay, thank you. So next, let me check your attendance. Is anyone absent for today? Okay, no one. Thank you. So before I start my discussion about my topic, let me ask you a question first. So my question is, why do you think teaching is called the noblest profession? Anyone? Okay. Okay, thank you for all of your wonderful answers. Next, let's move on to the next slide. So I have here a quote that says, teaching is the essential profession, the one that makes all professions possible. So as you can see, teaching has always been the essential profession needed for all of those other professions to make or to achieve it. So as of for my realization, a teacher has always been the crucial thing or the needed thing to achieve all of those other professions. So what do you think is my lesson all about for today? No one? So my lesson for today is all about Article 4, the teacher and the profession. So first, let's tackle about the section 1. So every teacher shall actively help ensure that teaching is a noblest profession and shall manifest genuine enthusiasm and pride in teaching as a noble calling. So every teacher shall uphold that his job or her job as a teacher is the most noblest profession of all. To simplify it, you must be prideful of what your profession, what teaching is all about. Now let's move on to section 2. So every teacher shall uphold the highest possible standards of quality education, shall make the best preparation for the career of teaching, and shall be at his best at all times in the practice of his profession. So it is very clear that in section 2, it is stated that teacher shall uphold the highest possible standards of quality education. So in teaching Mungod, you have to be more on preparing yourself. You have to, it's not just about teaching those lessons to your children, but also reflecting of what things you must improve in yourself. Because in achieving such high standard in teaching, you have to be more flexible in obtaining the highest possible standard as a teacher. So now let's move on to section 3. Every teacher shall participate in the continuing professional education or CPE program of the Professional Regulation Commission and shall pursue such other studies as well as improve his efficiency, enhance the prestige of the profession, and strengthen his competence, virtues, and productivity in order to be nationally and internationally competitive. So as a teacher, you must always be competitive because it's not just about being a teacher, but it is about being a role model to your students. So in achieving such position, you must always participate in the continuing professional education that is regulated by the Professional Regulation Commission. let's move on to section 4. So in section 4 says that every teacher shall help, if duly authorized, to seek support for the school, but shall not make improper misinterpretations through personal advertisement and other questionable means. So a teacher may help his or her school if he is authorized by the school head or the very institution itself. But rather, a teacher cannot make improper misinterpretation about those things that may lead to a conflict or questionable means. So now let's move on to section 5. Every teacher shall use the teaching profession in a manner that makes it a dignified means for earning a decent living. So a teacher must always observe a proper living. As for his profession, you can't use this as a living or a source of income, because it is very, very wrong because you have to live your profession in a dignified means for earning a decent living. So example of this is that when a teacher is earning money while he is promoting a person that is running for for example, if a person is running for a mayor or something like that, and then the teacher promotes that person. So that's it. So since we are done tackling about all the sections of Article 4, now let's move on to the generalization. So here's my question. What do all the sections of Article 4 tell us about attitude and behavior expected from teachers towards their profession? Okay. So thank you for all of your wonderful answers. Now let's move on to the group activity. So the class will be divided into 4 groups. Each group will be given a problem scenario, which each problem is consisting of different sections of Article 4. Every scenario has its following question. Then, they will write their answers on a sheet of manila paper and discuss it in front of the class. Okay class, thank you for your participation for today. Now let us go to let me give you your assignment. So instruction. After learning about the Article 4 of the Code of Ethics of Professional Teachers, write a short reflection, at least 1 paragraph or 5 to 8 sentences, answering the guide questions below. So here are the guide questions. What did you learn about the responsibilities of a teacher toward the teaching profession? Which section of Article 4 do you find most meaningful or inspiring, and why? How can you, as a future teacher, show pride and professionalism in a chosen career? What professional values or attitudes do you think are important to become a dignified and ethical teacher? So the format is already given there. So that's all. Thank you. And so in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So Mr. Vandivas, may you lead the closing prayer for our class today?